Hi there, and welcome to this really beautiful session. I'm so excited that you picked your interest up until this point. What we'll be discussing in this session, we're going to be looking at how to overcome the boredom of performing same actions again and again and again. Luckily for us, Excel has functionality to take care of such. It's called the macros. You can find it in certain other applications. It's also found in Excel. It's called macros. Now, there's a relationship between macros and VBA, which is where we're going to get to at the tail end of our discourse. However, it's important to start from the easy stuff, and as we progress, you're able to grasp the more complex, or should I say, stronger concepts of the Excel application. So to demonstrate this, I just have a data set which I downloaded from Kaggle. It's also shared with the description of the video, so you can also access that. And what I just did, definitely just for illustrative purposes, was I duplicated the same sheet. I duplicated it 12 times, so it's into different months of the year. Now, sometimes in reality, this is a peculiar scenario. Sorry, not peculiar. This is a familiar scenario to you, perhaps. You have data sets in different sheets or even in different workbooks, and you're asked to just format it, perhaps to prepare a report for a particular time, and you know that the formatting you want to apply to this data set is uniform. So you're basically doing the same thing, in this case here, to 12 different sheets. Is there a way you can just do it to one, and then when you open another one, you just use a keyboard shortcut, and that formatting is applied to everything? You can easily do that using the macros. So the macros is used to record actions. So it's like the computer is just merely taking note of what you're doing while in the Excel application, recording it, and it's writing it as codes, which is the VBA part of it. And when you wish to, you stop the recording and you ask it to execute that same kind of command. Now, it's important to be very careful while you're performing a macro recording. Okay, so at the tail end of your screen, you could see ready at the tail end of the screen, just below there. Or you could easily go to the view tab, and you have macros. So I click on record macro. Later we're going to come to view macro. I click on record macro here. So you just give your macro a name, something you want. So I'm just going to say format this. Okay, format this. Typically just like a table, the naming conventions for table, I don't want to have them separated. And you could give a quick description for this. Okay, so just to quickly format data set. Okay, and where to store this macro. So you could store it in the workbook or in a different workbook, or you could have a personal macro workbook. Now, up until this time, we've been working on direct Excel files, and if you look at the file extension, it has been .xlsx or .xlsls rather. But however, a macro workbook means that you have a macro like a VBA code stored in it. It's saved in a different file extension, typically .xlm or something else. Okay. Now you could also assign a keyboard shortcut key if it's not a common one. So if we're just going to put in G here. So let's take note of that. Quickly format data set, and I click on OK. I want you to just take note of the bottom left side of the screen while I click on OK here. So you see appearance has changed. So you have that text saying ready, and you can see that appearance, like a stop button, a square button. At this point now, the computer is recording every action I take. So what am I going to do? I'm going to select the entire sheet. So I'm going to click on this. The entire sheet is selected, and I just want to adjust. First, I want to adjust is the width. So I want the width of all the columns to be auto fitted, and also the height of all rows to be automatically fitted. You're already familiar with this. Next, I'm going to select the first cell there, and with the keyboard shortcut of Control Shift and End, okay, to select every cell, moving from that initial point of selection that has data in it to the last point there. And what do I want to do here? I just want to apply borders. Okay, I want to apply borders. Say I want to apply all borders here, and I also want to just give tick outside borders to it. Next up, I want to select the entire first row, okay, and make it bold. Perhaps I could also increment the font size of this and just align it to the center here. I'm seeing that it's a bit skewed, so I'm going to select the entire sheet again and auto fit the width of the columns. Okay, I have these values in here in the service cost column, so I'm just going to select the entire column and change the formatting. I want it to appear as uh, to reflect, with these 1,000 separators in here. And if I'm done with that, okay, next I want to do is to select the entire data set using the keyboard shortcut of Control A. At this point, I'm okay, so I can go ahead to stop my recording. So add it on the view, the macros. Now I can say stop recording. Okay, now macros are stopped recording. You can see the bottom left, it just displays ready there. If I click on this macro in here, now I see view macros. Now where this typically would make more next sheet here, February, and I still have it just this way. So I have macros here, I see view macros. So I have this macro which I just recorded here now. And now I can see run. Okay, so let's see what happens when I click run. So you see everything, same formatting that was applied there in that sheet called January has been applied to this sheet called February. If I move on to March now, it's also blank. Remember, we assigned the keyboard shortcut. Do you remember what the keyboard shortcut was? It was Control G. Okay, so it takes note of that keyboard shortcut that was assigned, Control G. And if we just move along to different sheets, different sheets. So I'm just going to do same thing for April again, Control G. And you can see this kind of behavioral change, like the system is trying to do some things, based on what it has recorded, and that formatting is applied. So just think of this, when you have repetitive tasks, that you have to perform, and it kind of gets boring. Recording a macro is a simple and efficient way to reduce performing repetitive tasks on the Excel application. In our next video, we're going to delve deeper into this macro. So if I say edit here, behind all those actions, this, to understand all of this, will be our next conversation. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next edition. Bye for now.